You're here because you're a truth seeker. And on the journey for truth, there are many pitfalls and traps. Tonight, we're going to expose the dark side of spirituality so that you could take back control of your everyday life. Hello, everyone. I am Michael, and I help guide people on the evolutionary journey. In the past few years, there have been many people that have had a spiritual awakening, and they went on a quest, and they went searching and seeking for knowledge, searching for truth, the truth about the universe, the truth about nature, the truth about spirituality. And when you go out on the internet, there are many pitfalls and traps. And not all of them are nefarious, but if you don't understand this reality, that's where you could come into many difficult situations and you will actually lose yourself. One of the things that I've shared with the community is that the only person that you cannot afford to lose is yourself. And there is a dark side of spirituality. There are so many people that fall into a secondary matrix. They thought they awakened. They thought they went out and they found spiritual communities. They found, people that are on the internet, on the TV, spiritual leaders and gurus. But it kind of got them trapped. And there's a pitfall that you could fall into. When you realize that everything comes from the frequency that you're emitting, that's how this is to be applied. When you go inside and you realize that ascension is an inside job, you will understand this lesson. So if you're able to focus your attention, heck, it's the currency of the universe, throughout this, you will break free of the dark side of spirituality. There are many posts that, whether it's astrology, about certain energies and what's going to happen on certain days, certain events that might take place. And utilizing Pareto's principle, the law of 80-20, if you take these things at face value, 80% of the time, if you're counting on this information for your everyday life, it's not going to work out. Nothing happens. But there is something that's happening. And if you understand this, what I'm about to teach, then you're not going to fall into this dark side of spirituality where people, they put the power outside of them and they absolutely can't move forward with their life. If you're on a spiritual journey, it's about constant growth and expansion. So what happens during these astrological updates, energy updates, or times throughout the year, there is a frequency shift that occurs inside of you. It does not mean in the physical that these things will happen, but there are literal changes. And, I've shared about ascension symptoms. The internal frequency shifts. That outer world, the people, the things, the situations, none of those things are real, but they are the result of your internal frequency, which comes from your heart chakra and your nervous system. The calibration of your nervous system is going to dictate the reality on a delay. Something I've been sharing for the past few years. It's on a delay, so start today. So if you do go through an internal shift, it is now up to you to move forward in your everyday life with that new frequency that you have. Because if you constantly think that the outer world, if you don't see any changes, you're going to constantly look at these astrology updates and you're going to reflect. And anyone that's tuned into this, you could reflect and you could say that nothing happened on any of these dates, maybe in the physical. And that's where people start to fall into this trap. You start to have an image of people or things or a situation in your life. and you can't break free of it. You know, maybe there's a certain guru out there that tells you a certain practice, and this is the only way. Maybe there's a certain guru out there, a false idol, if you will, that tells you you have to have a certain type of diet, and this is the only way to become spiritual. You have to eat this way. You know, we have a tremendous Facebook community. You could hit me up on Facebook. And, you know, taking the pulse of society in the community, there are many people that were tricked into, you know, maybe I have to eat a certain way. It's just a label. It's not true spirituality. True spirituality is about getting rid of labels. So, you know, I could see a lot of the comments and posts that they left a certain maybe eating habit, and it's actually wrecked their everyday life. And that's where people start to lower their vibrational frequency. And you constantly have judgment and expectations. It's one of my very first videos. Judgment and expectations are lower vibrations that will put you on a lower timeline. Well, what are timelines? Well, when you have an internal shift, you are now on a new trajectory. And what a lot of people fail to realize is that there is free will. So upon the internal shifts that occur throughout the year, you could now be thrusted upward, dislodged, and now you can set sail on a new quest from your internal changes. So many people have fallen into these traps over the years, and I've seen people get worse. You had the spiritual awakening, and you left maybe the mainstream media, and you got pulled into a secondary matrix, and your life didn't improve. It might have actually got worse. The whole point of taking the journey is to take back your freedom, take back your sovereignty, take back control of your everyday life. You know, we're conscious creators. We're actually manifesting and creating every second of the day. And just because these things don't appear in the physical, it doesn't mean that they don't exist on a timeline. And what happens is when you look and you're looking in the physical, you start to put fear, and it actually shuts down the internal shifts and frequency. So on your journey, I could be out here tonight setting sail to new heights. Just like the sailboat is going to destination unknown, you and I and all of us are setting sail to destination unknown. People get pulled in. People get pulled in with dates. People get pulled in to a finish line. I'm here to tell you, there is no finish line. You know, I was able to plunge myself and learn through firsthand experience. And I could take this little stroll tonight, and I know the things that work, and I know the things that are full of crap. And the only thing that ever works is this word, embodiment. And when you embody a new frequency, and when you live it for a sustained period of time, then and only then will your life change. The true journey, the true spiritual journey is learning who you are. There are many people that spend their entire life and they have no clue who they are. They lived a life of obligation instead of a life of creation. You might be getting this message tonight and you could say to yourself, you know what? My job, my relationship, my situation, this is all out of obligation. I don't even want to live this life. I want to take back control of my everyday life. And that's what the spiritual awakening is all about. But there's this dark side to spirituality where you will find yourself. And you could go out on the internet, and I'm also here to tell you, a lot of these things also are not nefarious. but people are not strong enough. I'm here to guide you and let you understand when you step forth, you're leaving the matrix and you're switching your mode from NPC mode to creator mode. But what happens is people, they don't actually switch on creator mode. They go into a secondary matrix with different programs and they become a non-playable character in a spiritual concept, in a spiritual lens, you know? What is true freedom? What do you really want out of life? You know, because I take this mindset, nothing affected me. And the mindset is, what am I learning today? I want everyone to focus on these words. What am I learning today? And that's how I was able to go forward. No one is a victim. And I'm here to tell you, when you go out on your journey, you're going to have to learn through trial and error. And I could be out here tonight in the light of Christ and going forth on my journey of trial and error. I could see the things that are irrelevant and I could see the things that are consistent, that are always the answer. Know thyself, embodiment, the I am presence. These are the things that are 100%. The only thing that matters in life is who you become. That's the only thing that matters. It doesn't matter the physical things. It doesn't matter, you know, the finish lines. There's never a finish line. You might think if you get this job, it's a finish line. If you reach this amount of money in the bank account, it's a finish line. If you finally get in a relationship, get married, it's a finish line. None of these things, all of these things can be taken away, and none of these things are a finish line. There will never be a finish line, and the only thing that you cannot afford to lose is yourself. There are so many people that awaken, that go on their spiritual journey, and they fall to the dark side of spirituality. We're out here tonight in the light of Christ to rise up and set a sail to new heights, new adventures, in the vibration of authenticity. Do you know who you are? Every single day, you must know thyself. Consistency, resiliency, authenticity. I teach, I build, I lead. You must know thyself and move forward in life in the embodiment of the frequency. Nikola Tesla said, if you want to know the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. If you think in these terms, you will start to break free of the dark side of spirituality, which places the energy outside of you. As we emit tonight, as we set sail, I'm emitting a frequency. The frequency is being emitted from my heart chakra, which emits an electromagnetic field 5,000 times greater than the brain. The frequency comes from the nervous system, and the way that your nervous system is wired, that is the main source of your outside world. It's always an inside job. When you change the frequency, there's people in here that are here tonight. You will get band-aids, you'll get quick fixes, but they always fade away. And you'll see them. They might look a certain way for a short period of time. They might have a fake relationship that fades away. They might have the false idols propped up. You always got to prop up, right? Fake stuff. They'll be propped up for a period of time, but each and every one of these things will fall. And the only thing that exists, the only thing that lasts is the frequency, is the embodiment. 100% of the time, it is embodiment. It is I am, and that's it. There is no crystal. There's no guru. There's no tarot cards. There's no astrology. There's nothing but I am. When you go forth on your journey, you must apply this. If you are a person that moves forth and say, you know what, maybe you want a relationship, and then you go to the energy update, you see the astrology, they're telling you love today, they're telling you love this week, right? But you have a bigger mission. That girl might be a parasite. That boy might be a beta, a distractor. These things aren't for you. You have a bigger purpose in life. The astrology is irrelevant to you. Do you understand that the energy update is irrelevant to you? On the outside, because as you move forward, you have bigger things, you have bigger plans, and God has bigger plans for each and every one of you. Each and every one of these things are irrelevant to the chosen. Each and every one of these things are irrelevant to the Christ energy. You have to realize this. I could sit out here tonight, it didn't matter what came against me, because each and every one of these things were for me, because it strengthened me, because it was the lessons. When I approach life and I start to study and I start to say, what am I learning from this situation? What am I learning from this person? What am I learning today? What am I learning today? And when we set sail with the future of our everyday lives, we set sail to learn something new every single day, because I'm here to tell you, on this journey of 7 years, the things that maybe worked in year 2 don't work in year 6, and they'll work now in year 7 as we move forward to 888 abundance codes. You must change. It's about our everyday lives. It's about your intuition. The message I told you, why people are getting this message, and you could say last year it was so intense, it was because God was refining your intuition. You have to move forward with this intuition. You must go out. You could be a seeker. You must search, but you can never lose yourself. You can't stop. You must keep moving forward, even if you have to crawl. And sometimes moving forward is resting. Every day is another opportunity for greatness. And if you are a person that's a great transmuter, you don't fall. You don't fall for the dark side of spirituality. It was a secondary matrix. Agent Smith. Bring all your NPCs. Enter the Archangel Michael, and we are bringing all of the light warriors. And so it is. If you find this message interesting and you would like to learn more about our reality in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration, why don't you click subscribe, give the video a like so it becomes visible to more people, and please share with one other person. Because when we all share with one other person, we will take back control of our everyday lives and collapse the fake spiritual matrix. Agent Smith, it's over, kid. Yeah, this was just a journey, light warriors. We're setting sail on the journey of self-discovery and remembering. Oh yeah, baby. Remember who you are. Remember the power that you possess. And remember, we cannot control what is around us. However, we can control from within. Be conscious that you are the creator of your reality and nobody else but you. Use this to raise your vibration and increase your electromagnetism. Life is so much better when we are all together. If you find this message inspiring or know someone that could benefit from it, please share this message. Dear ones, I am Michael. Find us in the 5th dimension. Have a wonderful day living your everyday life. Don't fall for it, kid. It's time to set sail. New heights, new destinations. The fake matrix reality is over. The traps of the dark spirituality are over. And now we have taken over. I am the defender of our everyday lives. Victory of the light. I love you all. It's a powerful message. Share the message. Hit the like button. Get it out. Don't fall for these things. Leave comments down below. What do you want to learn as we continue to move forward in the vibration of authenticity? It is the most high on the consciousness scale. We're going straight to the top, kid. We're going straight to the top.